Collective reading. What a day. I was hearing boiling point, and with all of these planets in Aries, it does not surprise me. So let's get how you guys are seeing your world right now. And we'll just see where we go from there. So, source, how is this collective seeing their world right now? Uh, let's just see where it goes. Do we have 444 here right now? Well, two fours, 6 and a 9. Okay, so how you're seeing your world. Four of Wands in reverse is your last card out, or your first card out. And that's not good. So that's a disunion, disharmony. That's a break in trust. It can literally be a card about divorce, breakups, lost contracts, lost opportunities. And right next to it, you've got 6 of Wands, which is all about pride, ego. Can literally be a card about narcissism, like as a personality trait, and which we all have a little bit of. But it's more of the emphasis on the like someone really being full of themselves. And then you've got 4 of Cups. That's about a lack of self awareness and missed opportunities. It's really heavy. And all of a sudden, my energy is so drained. And it makes sense because the last card that came out was 9 of Wands in reverse. I always see it as like a dog running with their tail between their legs. It's about a retreat, wanting to try another approach, realizing that you've been staying in situations for the wrong reasons and really holding the line. It's about backing off. This collective, whatever you're going through right now, it's clearly interpersonal because this is not, I don't think this is just directed inward at yourself. The cards that I'm seeing directed inward at self are going to be this 6, no offense, the 6 of Wands and this 9 of Wands in reverse. We'll get to that in a minute. This break in trust, disunion, disharmony, divorce, whatever your 4 of Wands in reverse is, I'm not going to lie, and I'll confirm it. I could be wrong, but I'm feeling like just initially there's a little bit of the blame game going on because this self-unawareness is just really sticking out to me as how you're looking at a situation externally, right? What we should project out is what we call in. So this is probably going to be a hard reading to hear, but if it found you and you feel called to listen to it, just try to remind yourself that you probably need to hear these things. The missed opportunities, if you feel like you have missed out on opportunities, you can go about that 2 different ways. See the lesson, change the behavior so you don't miss out on anything. Or you can blame other people for taking things away from you. But who put you in this position to not have those opportunities? Like, I don't feel like this is an external force that physically stopped you from certain things. 4 Cups really is like that place of unhealedness that comes from a lack of self-awareness. And it's a really hard pill to swallow. But if we want this to stop, there's got to be a pattern in life, like everything is. If we want this to stop, oh, my candle went out. God, that's a sign. If we want this to stop, we need to see where the bleeding is and we need to stop it, right? Now, this 6 of Wands and this 9 of Wands in reverse, the reason why I was saying that I think you're more projecting out this uncomfortable feeling towards missed opportunities is because I think this is you. The being self-centered, self-focused, a little shallow, a little in your own head about what you want, and then retreating from a place where you were really just like gung-ho with whatever it was. And it's like, okay, so what do you do about it now? Right? Now that you're realizing these things. Like I'm seeing that yarn card in that other deck. I want to get your emotion real quick and see if it lines up. Like it's almost like a vengefulness. Like I think you're sick of whatever's going on. I think you're frustrated. You're obviously exhausted because the way it's even requiring me to keep my chest up and like to keep me upright is all of a sudden a lot of effort. Like I think you're just exhausted and like no wonder. So let's just see what your emotion is right now. Silence. So you're bottling. You're bottling up right now, and that's not good. Resistance, but there's confidence here. And no offense, I think that is that 6 of Wands. You know what I just realized? It is Six of Wands upright. And that's not actually bad, but there's a reason why, for some reason, I was literally seeing it up until this very moment as Six of Wands in reverse. Six of Wands upright is about a pride of achievement, accomplishment, card of fame, card of it's the trophy, right? It's the win, it's the victory, success. Like, I literally, that happens to me a lot though. That a part of my clairvoyance is sometimes I will literally see things in a specific way, and then all of a sudden they'll show themselves to be what they actually are. So everything that happens will be for a reason. Silence, protective, resistance, but confidence. So you're clearly sitting in a place of silence, or you feel like you've been silenced. What is this protective? I don't know what you could be feeling protected. Maybe your ego, honestly, because of the way that Six of Wands presented itself to me. Maybe it's your ego. Let's get one more for that. Judged was on the bottom. Detachment. That is not making any sense to me. How could you be protective over detachment? We'll have to see what that is. That doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it would for the right collective. I just don't understand that. Let's get one more. Introspection. Well, you're definitely looking inward. That's obvious. You don't get a Nine of Wands in reverse without doing some sort of self-reflection. But it's funny that it's right next to a card literally of the opposite of that. And there's some sort of resistance here. Resistance to change. Disgusted on the bottom. The confidence, again, is not bad. It's not bad. Hold on. I'm already all confused. So what's the Six of Wands? Knight of Pentacles. So you've been on some sort of loyalty journey for a long time. Slowest moving knight. I say he takes so long to get to where he's going. He kind of forgets where he's going along the way. He learns a lot of really valuable lessons in that way. But the most important one that he keeps forgetting that he needs to learn is the persistence, the patience, the loyalty, the steadfastness. Like, he's on that journey for years. And it would make sense too if I was seeing that Six of Wands in reverse. Your ego would be getting like really bruised right now in whatever is not working. Four of Wands in reverse, that's rough. That really is a true split in energy, and whatever that energy is for you. It was your first card that came out. Justice on the bottom. One more for that Four of Wands. The Magician in reverse. So okay, and no offense, but I was hearing right away things that never had a leg to stand on, that were always kind of just bubbling under the surface. In traditional tarot, right? The Rider-Waite deck, like one of the first decks. The way that the reverse magician is sometimes viewed is manipulation, because he manipulates energy. He is the magician of his universe. And in order to alchemize, you have to manipulate energy. But Rider-Waite, that deck, it's the reason why I don't use it. It's because it's a very severe and harsh look at the magician in reverse. And it's one of my favorite cards, but it's coming to my mind. Like, I know that you're introspective, but this resistance is really sticking out to me. And disgusted is on the bottom again. A lot of purple too. So a block in your crown chakra, and there's a lot of blue. So a block in your throat chakra. But magician in reverse can also be like a starting point for ideas. But then why would it be underneath a card of like solid, firm foundation if they were both upright? Because that's what Four of Wands upright would be. Is I see it as a divine union card, a card of marriage, a card of harmony, a card of collaboration and coming together for some sort of bond, some sort of contract. It can be about community, but ow, ooh, that hurt. Whatever you're going through right now, I think you've dedicated a lot of time and effort to this. Knight of Pentacles and Nine of Wands. But there's other players involved that are just either had a lack of effort, enthusiasm, discipline, like whatever it is. And I think you're just a little exhausted. Again, you're sitting a little bit in silence. So you're bottling up a lot of this stuff. You are reflecting. I really don't understand this protective. It says keeping you safe, concern, being careful, responsibility, caring for welfare, guarding, preventing you from getting hurt, or preventing self from getting hurt. But then I guess that would make sense of detached. Okay, so this is what I'm hearing. You just let me know if this is really your reading. It's like you detached from the idea of getting hurt, which means you've been playing it sort of safe in this, whatever this is. And by safe, I don't mean you clearly have taken some sort of big emotional, financial, physical risk in this situation. We're going to get more decks to break it down. But if you were persisting in holding the line for something that you thought was genuinely going to be at some point a Four of Wands, then you were playing it safe by not walking away from things that clearly do not serve you. Clearly. A place where you were, for whatever reason, sitting in self-unawareness, and I bet you had noticed before whatever is happening and imploding on itself that it was not going to work, but you played it safe and you were like, let me just hold the line. Let me just have determination. Let me just have grit. Let me just survive this. Like, wounded. Look at the image on the card. Last soldier on the battlefield. But sometimes that's not, when it comes to love and relationships, why are we doing that? Truly. And I think you know that. I'm not trying to judge you. This comes from a place of genuine experience and care, because I don't want anybody to have to walk through some of the fires I've walked through. But it's like, what are we doing here? Especially with Aries, like the veil is lifting for so many people right now when it comes to their own choices. And I'm pretty sure Mars just moved into Aries and he loves to be there. That's his home. So this silence and this detachment and this introspection and this resistance, why do I just feel like, yeah, I think you're reaching a boiling point, but we're not at temp yet. You know what I mean? Let's just keep going. I'm going to leave these here. I'm going to try not to make a huge mess of this table. So what's this Four of Cups? So it kind of came out, that's Temperance. So for a long time, and I was literally seeing someone like balance, the spinning plates. I don't even know what that's from. That's definitely before my time, but that's what I saw, is someone like balancing on two little sticks, like plates that they were spinning. And I think that was your energy for a long time. And now you're becoming self-aware of it. And I think it's like you're trying to like calm yourself down. But again, like it's not good to be sitting in silence. You're just going to be a pressure cooker. It's just going to fucking explode. But I am hearing too that you probably thought for a long time that whatever the situation was, it was very protected. It was very destined. Like it can be a card of angels, ultimate card of balance, ultimate card of harmony, union of opposites. And like, it just hasn't worked out for you. And I'm genuinely sorry, but we need to make sure we get you the right lessons so you don't repeat this. I feel like this is such a pattern in your life already. For me to feel so physically exhausted, your body is trying to tell you that you cannot repeat this pattern in this cycle, right? What is this? Oh, I didn't even see that this came out. Devil in reverse. So that is a toxic, I don't mean just karmic, I mean toxic, energetic parasite, right? And I'm not trying to dehumanize anybody, but the energy itself, like energy vampire, energy leech, someone who just takes, and never actually sees that that's all they're doing. Eve, quit kicking my tripod. She's underneath my table, just like batting at it. She's a dog and she does cat shits, like cat things like that all the time. So, but the devil in reverse is also about, it can be about addictions, like true to life addictions that actually prevent you from functioning at a reasonable, healthy level. And there's no judgment in this corner of tarot about things like that. It's not a moral failing, but it does sometimes really destroy people's lives when they have substance use problems, right? And it just, devil in reverse with temperance sideways over self-unawareness. Ouch. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying so hard not to be too blunt about it, but like, how did you do this for so long? Like, how did you do this for so long? How did you do this for so long? This would be years. How? I know there's all these different, I can hear the answers in my head, but why? All right, let's get you out of it. Let's just literally get cut right to the bone and see what this is triggering. Ooh, in your trauma right now. Imposter syndrome. So you didn't think you deserved better. Self-sabotage. Yeah. Sorry, friend, but yeah, big time. Good Lord. One more. Oh, despair wound. And that's like the heaviness that I'm feeling. So the imposter syndrome, you know what that is, a feeling of perpetual inadequacy and self-doubt. And when you are a self-sabotager, guess what's going to get fed in your ego before anything else? Imposter syndrome, self-fulfilling prophecy. Because if you're constantly sabotaging the good things in your life, your brain, whether you know it or not, is feeding into this narrative, confirmation bias. It's a real thing. Look it up. Look it up. It's something that we all do. It's something that is deeply needs to be deconstructed when we're talking about trauma work and shadow work. But look at the way these feed each other. So it's like, okay, so this is what I'm hearing. You tell me if this is right. Sound out in the comment. Every single time a wave of intuition would come over you, that whatever you were getting yourself into with another person or situation, let's just say it's another person to make it easier for the example. Let's say you met this person, it was really fun, it was really great, you guys start dating, and then the heavy drinking sets in. And you're like, oh, we're drinking a lot. Boom, that's an intuition. That's an intuition. It's not just a passive thought. It's not just something your brain is shooting out like it's like throwing garbage out once a week. That's an intuitive thought pattern. Oh, we're drinking a lot. Or every time you go to take a sip, you get like kind of a weird queasy feeling. Like anything about your body. I mean, hangovers are rough enough as it is, but you probably would have had worse and worse and worse hangovers. So you got to the point where you're just numbing yourself out and you were getting used to it. But deep down in the back of your head, be like, God, I really don't want to drink this weekend. And then all your friends would get together and your love interest would be there, you know, whatever happens. And then before you know it, you've got a drink in your hand. Again, it's not a moral failing. I know this because I understand addiction, right? From personal experience in my personal life with people I love and myself. So just keep that in mind. But like that is your intuitive, you shutting down and blocking your intuition with imposter syndrome. And self-sabotage hand in hand, right? So in that example, guess what you're feeding first? Self-sabotage. The intuition you did not listen to, which was, oh, I don't really want to be doing this. You didn't do it. Sabotage, right? And then you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get better. Imposter syndrome. See what I'm saying? It is that simple to deconstruct. Find the beginning of the loop and follow it till the end, till it hits the loop, the beginning of the loop again. And that's how you'll see your thought pattern, your patterns of behavior. Sometimes they're really short like that. Like that could have been a 48-hour period where you're having that thought pattern and then you're coming back to center. Sometimes they can take years. Depends on what your triggers are. But for this collective, I think it really was that simple. And you've been not listening to it for a very long time. And then on top of that, both of those together, unhealed, is creating this despair wound. Because with confirmation bias, you've been telling your brain, right, your me computer that logs all the information in a very imperfect way, that nothing works, nothing gets better. We're just surviving. Doesn't matter what we do, blah, 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 blah. Whatever narrative you're telling yourself. And this is exclusive to the choices that you are making with your autonomy and free will as an adult. I'm not talking about external circumstances. I'm not talking about when you get laid off for no reason, or, you know, you can't pay your mortgage for some outside situation, some sort of act of God, a weather event, a war. Like, I'm not talking about that shit. So don't try to deflect because I can already feel it. The despair wound comes from the imposter syndrome and the self-sabotage. Shows up as a hopelessness, deep sense of sadness, feeling trapped in a cycle. Bingo. Bingo. What are we doing? What are we doing? You keep yourself trapped in that cycle. may manifest as difficulty finding joy or purpose, a lasting sense of emptiness, or believing change is impossible, rooted in unresolved emotional pain and past trauma. So at some point, when you were tiny you, go get a picture of you while I'm saying this. If you have to pause and do it, fine. Get a picture of you, look at it as I'm describing probably what happened. You tell me if it's right. Little you was shown by your caregivers that things don't get better. And because your beautiful, tiny little baby brain could not understand nuance and complexity of the adult world and the world outside of your home, you interpreted that cycle of failure as inevitability. Okay. So this despair wound is deep within how you were taught to view the world by your caregivers, but it is not in any way an actual solid fact of your life, period. Full stop. Just saying. Like, it's not. It's just not. And again, outside of external situations, there's probably 50 things you could do today to change this pattern of thinking. And the first one I'm going to give you as homework is stop telling yourself this. Stop internally with your internal monologue or your internal thought pattern or whatever, however you speak to yourself in your brain. You need to stop telling yourself that things are hopeless and things are never going to get better. You need to recognize that thought pattern when it comes up, and you need to say, no, I want to find a different way. You don't have to be positive. You can just be neutral and say, actually, that's not working for me right now. I don't want to think about that. I want to try to change that. Trying to change something, wanting to change something, that's not toxically positive. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel the need to like constantly reassure this clip because I can feel your energy trying to come in with the but what's. But what if that, but what if that, no, that's your self-sabotage coming in. And I'm shutting it down right now. Every single time. And then verbally, you better not even once for the next 90 days not be able to catch yourself verbally saying out loud words or spells that things don't get better. You need to truly wrap your mind around that change right now. I literally did a reading for A Beautiful Soul the other day, and we went through a version of this exercise. It was much less intense, but I watched their energy change as soon as they went to a neutral vocal pattern about the reflections they were having on their life. Their energy totally changed. I'm an energy reader, and you can see it too. I'm just saying, like, you have to stand in the mirror and watch your energy change. Watch the muscles in your face and your fascia loosen and relax when you start telling yourself a different narrative, right? It's really important. I spent like 5 minutes on this. So start there. And then you can start to tackle this self-sabotage, because once you start speaking better to yourself, guess what happens to this wound? You stop self-sabotaging because you stop perpetrating a narrative that is, you are a sabotager. And then as this, starts to fade into the background, you feel lighter, more hopeful, making little itty bitty changes here and there. And this starts to get lighter, more hopeful, making itty bitty changes. You stop feeling like an imposter because you're successful. Guys, it's sometimes that easy. There are situations where it's not that easy, but for this to be coming out of my mouth, it's important to understand that that is the energy that I'm reading. If I thought you needed more than just a thought pattern change right now in this minute, I'd say it. Because again, I have no emotional attachment to this reading. They're your cards, not mine. So let's start there. The thought pattern and the vocal pattern need to change immediately. And then on top of that, you got one more piece of homework. And I know this is going to be hard and overwhelming, but you can absolutely do it. You need to step away from substances, or if you need help stepping away, you need to ask for help today. Literally today. I am not an advocate for cold turkey. I am not an advocate for shaming anybody. I am not an advocate for one modality and getting sober over the other. Pick one that you think is going to work for you and literally walk towards that goal. I don't care if that means looking up a support group online, and then tomorrow you go to it. I don't care if that means dumping out something, flushing something, whatever. I don't care what it is. You need to walk towards it, because this card is screaming addictions at me right now. Screaming it. I don't think your thought pattern can actually catch up to understanding this until we remove the whatever is happening in there that you are ingesting or near in order to clear up the thought pattern. Okay. It's really important. So let's start there. Let's just start there. Because I can tell too in your emotions, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. Silence, protective, detached, introspective. We're reaching numb zone. We don't want to be numbing out anymore. And then we've got resistance, probably to change and everything that we've been talking about, but then confidence. And I want you to hold on to this, but I don't want to be I don't want it to be perpetrated by a substance or a situation that is completely outside your control. This should emanate from you. I feel like you grab onto this in moments to try to soothe this, and then because it has no legs to stand on, because this is still here, this gets it explodes, and then we're back at square one. Get what I'm saying? I don't want you to have to go through this anymore. Right now, with what the planets are doing, just trust in your favorite psychic. Trust in me that right now would be a perfect time for change. Perfect time. You've got the fire of the universe behind you. Use it. Literally, I could do hours on how astrology is everything. It's everything right now. Literally use this fire for transformation. Go from ore to steel. Be forged in that fire. It's going to be worth it. I promise. I absolutely promise. I get very passionate when I see people or read people that like truly feel like there's nothing that they can do. Because I've spent 35 years now on the planet watching and experiencing how it is only under extreme situations that someone is genuinely hopeless. And that is not a long-term situation. You know what's coming to my mind? This is going to be your third piece of homework, and I'm going to try not to give you any more. Apologies, I'm a Capricorn, but you need to go watch or go listen to. It's I think about this like at least once or twice a week because it was so stirring of the soul. Like I love this type of journalism, but it was an investigative journalist piece about Curtis Flowers. And it's streaming, I think, probably on every platform. God, I wish I could remember what the title of this podcast was. Um, but it's not just people talking about, like, it's actually like, an oral story. It's not, like people just sitting at a microphone talking about it. Podcasting is like become this really weird thing, but it's investigative journalism. Hold on, I want to find the actual name of it. Okay, it's called In the Dark. I listened to it, and this isn't the pain Olympics. I'm not telling you to go listen to this so you can be like, buck up and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You could be living literally a situation that is very similar to the story that you're about to listen to, or you could already know about it. It's not about that. It's not about someone's pain being bigger in a room than somebody else's. I just want you to think about what I've been saying when you think about this story and how even with all the cards stacked against this person, they were able to change things. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, currently who will never get that opportunity, who genuinely are trying. It gets me, guys, it gets me so fired up when I think about injustice. It's one strong sense of justice, have done work in social justice arenas about advocacy. And like, I understand it. But I'm just saying, like, it's coming to my mind for a reason. Go listen to it. I'm not saying humble yourself. I'm saying understand you have avenues for change, even if it's minute. We got to get you out of the thought pattern of the doom and the gloom. You've felt it. You need to walk through it. We need to get you out of the silence and the detachment because that's the coldness of the heart. That's literally, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to pop up. We got to get you out of it. All right, that was a lot of yapping. I'm really genuinely still curious on this protective. It makes no sense to me. So I actually want to get another deck, and there's a reason why it keeps sticking out to me. I just want to see what that is too. Oh, let's just see. Sorry, I just heard something that would be really sad. So I, as a reader, don't tap into the energy of children. And what I heard with this protectiveness was it was about children. Your children, a child that you're close to, like a child that you love, like you're clearly in some sort of parental role in one way, shape, or form in your soul. I'm reading your soul's energy. Your soul is some sort of protective entity over another living thing. And to confirm that, Six of Cups came out, and that's about childhood trauma. So I think that was an immediate confirmation. But then you've got Six of Coins in reverse, and that's all about conditional giving and one-sided relationships. And so I don't tap into the energy of children. So I'm going to try really hard to just stay in your energy, because this is as far as I'm going to take that question. Again, to respect children's autonomy and their inability to consent. But if you feel like you're in a dynamic where you are protective over a tiny human or another living thing, and it is one sided, conditional, you don't have access, why then would detachment be over that? It seems like you're trying to detach from the pain, and that is a massive fucking red flag. Massive. And I'm not saying that like you're doing something wrong. I'm saying that because we need to change that. You need to not be detached. I know you're introspecting on this protectiveness, but if it's coming up in your soul's emotion, the detachment needs to get the F out of here. So we've got some work to do. And I get it. Like, things are complicated with kids. I literally just broke up a little fight outside my house between a couple of middle schoolers. I get it. Like, I know that's guaranteed not what you guys are going through, but it just came to my mind how, like, funny of a coincidence. Like, kids are complicated, especially at that age. Like, middle schoolers, oh my God. They are like, it's like the wild, wild west in every single social circle. And they are just beautiful humans. But like, oh my God, it's like trying to herd cats. Whatever that protectiveness is that you clearly don't have access to or can't fix right now, you need to stop internalizing it and be more in the modality of, how do we change this? How do we fix this? Right? So that's just all I'm going to say on that. If it comes up in more things, we'll tap into the energy of how you feel about it, but again, genuinely not whoever that person is, because again, they're a child, they can't consent. So just, I have to go every once in a while when that comes up. I have to be really firm with my boundaries on that, because I just won't do it. Okay. So do that too. Do that with me. Just like take a couple breaths in and out, because that's already been really intense and we've spent like 30 minutes on it. So if that was really for you and you watched the whole thing, you would need to take a breather. Just take a breather. If you need to pause this, do that. But breathing, like truly, like just reconnect to your body with your breath for just a minute. I feel the need to say that too. I'm a big proponent of breath work for people, especially when they're in whatever you're going through. Okay, let's see what source sees as far as your energy. So not your opinion, what source, creator, universe, energy wise, the destroyer. One more. Oh, but Keros and the mentor. Interesting. One sec. So this is how source is seeing your energy archetype wise. And I would describe an archetype for energy. It's like how your higher self like suits up a costume to learn the part in like a play. It's learning the lessons, right, of whatever the archetype is, and then you move through it. It's a transient phase of the energy. It's not like shadow or ego, which is something we have to heal, but will always still be there in little pieces, and we just like get tools to deal with it. These are like little suits that our energy zips up to learn the part, right? And then move through it and change into a new costume. It's a good thing. It's not a shadow thing. But this is how source is seeing it. So the destroyer was the first one that came out. And this is about the rejected. So again, we're seeing that in your energy. Your first card was Four of Wands in reverse. So it's the final in a trio of existence. It is a necessary yet painful part of the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we can hang on to permanence as a signifier of success, yet the destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. And that's 100% what you're going through. Source is recognizing it's for a reason. It's not random. You're not a victim. It's not doom and gloom. It's a lesson, like just about everything else, right? Not everything happens for a reason, but for this collective, what you're going through is happening for a reason. It's the part of us that wants things to end. So in your soul loves transition, loves change, right? Every time your soul zips up a new meat suit in a new lifetime, that's a huge transformational change. But the second we take our first breath, the second we actually opened our eyes into this crazy fucking world, we get spiritual amnesia. It's just gone, right? And we can get little bits and threads that we pull at throughout the world when we reunite with, souls from the past and all this other stuff. But either way, the destroyer is here in your life for a reason. It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's not because you're fundamentally flawed. It's not because you're always sabotaging things. It's not because it's doom and gloom. For this collective, it's for a reason. Okay? Its in painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose. The destroyer does not let us linger in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. When the eyes are piercing from it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and in this moment, with that's when heads begin to roll. The ground opens up and a castle crumbles. I'm shocked that you didn't get the tower card. It makes sense though with the way you're trying to kettle and bottle up. So just remember that it's happening for a reason. But then you also got the mentor. So there's a reason why that thing came to my mind with me breaking up those middle schoolers who are just being insane, like truly just being insane. And through that developmental stage where like they say one thing and then like lie about saying it. And you're like, okay, at the end of it, it was me like, do you want a snack? Can I get you some water? And then they were fine and they went along their way. Clearly came to my mind because you're meant to be a teacher. Do you know that? I would bet. I'd bet $100 you're not in a teaching capacity. Tell me I'm wrong. You probably do mentor in some way, shape, or form. You're probably an incredible fucking teacher. You're probably the type of teacher, oh, this is so cute, where you are so excited about the things that you teach that you actually draw in people when you're teaching them something. And I don't think you mean to teach. I don't think you say like, come on over here, let me learn you something. It's more that when you're excited about something that you know something about, you want to tell people about it. That's, again, that's a really beautiful, rare, by the way, quality, rare. Lots of people don't have enthusiasm for sharing knowledge. A lot of people are not naturally curious. It's one of my favorite qualities in a person is to be naturally curious and naturally excitable about anything that they find interest in instead of just being this like mundane sort of, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm not going to read you this whole thing, but it says the mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. The gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link, which you clearly have, and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. So that there's always a reason that everything happens in a reading, and I have to remind myself more than I remind you guys. But there's a reason why I was seeing that Six of Wands in reverse. You probably think that this quality in you makes you a narcissist, makes you full of yourself, makes you some sort of show off, chauvinistic, like annoying piece of shit. Negative, ghostwriter. It's literally a part of your soul's contract to be the teacher. Let me explain to you something that I know about very deeply. Very, very intricately. This is woven into my lessons as a psychic medium who some people might see as a mentor. And that's fine. Whatever. The label doesn't matter to me. But when you go a large amount of your adult life not sitting in the archetype that your soul has chosen, a part of your unique, beautiful blueprint to be special and unique to you, and part of your life path or your mission, whatever makes your soul shine, that you're naturally good at in one way or another, like this card is saying you are. When you don't do that, you become fucking insufferable to everybody around you because it's all this pent up energy that's literally supposed to be a puzzle piece that goes very specifically in one place. And you're trying to put it in everybody else's fucking puzzle. Do you see what I'm saying? Like genuinely, until I started like doing this full time, I was always the person who gave people advice without them asking for it. I was always the person who gave someone my perspective on a situation without them asking for it. Like, think of the myriad of ways that I could be a Budinsky. I was doing that, but it's because I'm literally supposed to read people's energy and give them a message. So again, what was I doing in my personal life? Way too fucking much of that unnecessarily. People are supposed to seek me out. People are supposed to come to me for a message. I'm not supposed to seek them out. Same way, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You are the teacher, babe. I'm trying to show you everything you're doing. You're not an imposter. You're applying your natural gifts wrong, and you're thinking you're being punished by the universe. You could not be further from the truth on that. See this lesson outside the box. I'd be saving this. I'd be saving this. Because remember, what pop quiz, what was the first thing in your homework? If you haven't watched the whole thing, go back and watch it. Truly. And if you don't feel called, I have to say this all the time because it drives me insane. If you don't feel called to watch a whole reading, I love that some of you guys hang out with me, but don't try to apply little bits of what I say to your life without listening to the whole message, right? Don't cherry pick. I don't like the cherry picking. I love people who are self-aware. Thinking of one beautiful soul in particular that's like, I know this wasn't for me, but I wanted it, I love the little bits of energy healing. I love that. I love that. But then sometimes I'll get messages in my email where it's like, well, you said this was going to happen to me and then it didn't happen. And then I have to reply, was that message even for you? Get what I'm saying? No offense. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, for it to come to my mind, you might be one of those people that's constantly taking in advice from other people and applying it to your life. And it's incorrect because you're the teacher. You're supposed to be the one giving advice. You have all the answers within. You have all of the information that you need. You just have to apply it correctly because then you've got Kairos, and this is about synchronicity. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not off your path. This is about time, which I'm obsessed with the idea of. I love talking about time. It's just, like if you really think about it, it really like, it's so fun. But we have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time. It's known as a lot of other things in quantum physics, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond our earthly clock and schedules. Within this nonlinear realm, we can access divine timing, which you're, by the way, not in control of, not even close. And the more you try to control it, the more it's going to whip you, truly, and bring you to your knees. Ask me how I know. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it's all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. So when in darkness, fights against time. That page of, or I'm sorry, not page, but there's a reason I said that Knight of Coins and Nine of Wands. Like you've been persevering for a very long time, but in the wrong arena. And now it's truly out of your hands because destiny is taking place. I'm actually genuine. Well, because we got your perspective at the beginning. I keep thinking like, why didn't we see Justice, the Wheel of Fortune, Tower? Like, why didn't we see a bigger major arcana? Because we were getting how you were seeing your world. It'd be interesting to see how Source. Let's actually get that right now. Let's see how Source is actually seeing your world with everything that we've gone on with, blabbered about. My shoulder is really giving me a hard time today. So maybe throw your shoulder out, but it's my left one, which is not usually the one that bothers me. So, okay, so let's just see how Source sees what's going on in your world. Not what you think, what is actually going on right now. I love this deck, but I genuinely just wish the author would have made these cards like a half-inch smaller because this is unbearable. And I have big hands, so like this is getting ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, my sweet baby angel. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. There was the Magician hiding underneath that one. I just want one more for this top row. King of Wands. You've got two kings on the table. So not only are they trying to teach you the lesson of being my favorite king, King of Coins, ride or die, baby, never gives up, towards things that are genuinely worth investing. That's the difference between someone who holds on unnecessarily and someone who is a King of Coins, an actual ride or die. Because he's loyal and steadfast and persistent, but because he knows his worth. So he doesn't invest in things that have no return. Truly. He understands when to cut his losses. And he's so solid, like truly made of stone, not going anywhere. They're trying to show you that that is genuinely inside of you. You are a loyal, steadfast, persistent person. No wonder you've been going about your life in Knight of Coins. That's supposed to progress to Queen of Coins, King of Coins, because it's what you're meant to be. You've just been holding the line unnecessarily in the wrong things. I say this and I say this all the time. If one of your core qualities as a human being, outside of all the things we've talked about, but like one of your core qualities when it comes to relationships is loyalty and willingness to make things work from all these different angles. Like you're malleable and you're consistent and you are kind and gracious and caring and blah, blah, blah. You have to be with someone who matches that intensity. And a lot of people say that they're loyal, but genuinely have no idea what that fucking means. You can't heal through that. You can't heal through somebody else not matching your frequency, matching your morals, matching your intensity. If someone else doesn't want to put the time, effort, patience, and consideration into working on a relationship, not fixing it and not making it perfect, but working on it and being loyal to that process, then they just don't align. I'm sorry, they just don't. It's a hard lesson to learn when you are ruled by an energy like that, but the universe is trying to show you that lesson. Not that you failed, that you were misaligned, and to look for people who are loyal, to seek out, project out that energy so that that is who you will call in. Ride or die behavior, again, people say that they're that, and they're not even loyal to themselves. They're not even loyal to their own ideals and their own morals, and they can be bought and paid for, and they can be, wined and dined, and they're sensationalists. Like they're not even loyal to anything they actually think they care about. They're not loyal to their eating routine. They're not loyal to taking their dog for a walk every day. They're not loyal to, do you get what I'm saying? Like that at a fundamental level, if you think loyalty only comes down to who you will and won't date, it's way more than that, and you know that. They're trying to show you that you don't align with whoever you are in cahoots with or whatever has ended recently. That's a good thing. You should be thanking them for showing you, wow, you taught me that these are the things about myself that I find value in. Thank you for the lesson, right? Because then they're also trying to give you King of Wands. So on top of all that, you're also the most magnetic. You're literally magic, baby. Literally magic. You have a magician's mind. You are the creator of universal magic. I see that as his mini magician. Mini magician. Magician, gods. That's how I see major arcana. King of Wands, earthly plane magician. You'd be so fucking magnetic when you walk into a room. You just glow. You'd be a natural transmuter of energy. He's so charismatic. He's so charming, but in a very beautiful way. He uplifts people. He's always complimenting people. He's always getting people in the highest vibration. He can literally turn the energy in a room like that if he wants it. But at the same time, if he walks in and he's a sourpuss, he can also tank the energy in a room. That's how powerful he is. He's my siren. Him and Queen of Wands, they're sirens with energy. They're trying to show you that's what you are. You're not some grub. You're not some bump on a log. Like stop thinking you're a literal, what was that, imposter? How could you be an imposter with this energy? Nonsense. Two of Wands in reverse, that's a reassessment. Thank God that that's there, but they're trying to show you to reassess, not to dig your own grave and bury yourself. They're trying to say like, shift course. That's all, like it's fine. But they're doing it. They're doing it with a card that is kind of a little bit like emotional whiplash, Seven of Cups in reverse. Now that is, because upright, I call it my mirage in the desert. That is mirage in the desert, right? Upright, it's illusion, confusion, Delululand, all these different options. You're marooned in the desert. Why the fuck are you walking towards that mirage? You know it's not there. You know that 100 yards away, there's not this crystal cool pool with these fucking palm trees and like poolside service. You know it's not there, but you walk towards it anyways. You had so many different options. In reverse, all of that evaporates, and then you're shown the clarity of your decisions and the only road that you have left. A lot of people don't like being forced onto their road that they were supposed to be walking the entire time. They'd rather live in the fantasy, and that's kind of why it hurts. It makes sense why you're a little like, what the fuck have I been doing? I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're in Seven of Cups in reverse. Good. That's good. You're out of the delusion. You're not going to die in the desert. Do you get what I'm saying? You do have Six of Cups in reverse though. So they're trying to show you, that's what they're showing you. They're showing you who you are, from your masculine side, right? King of Wands, King of Coins, that you need to reassess. The veil has lifted. The illusion has gone poof. And what remains? The only thing that remains, Six of Swords in reverse. That's bad to worse. That's a storm brewing. That is instability, arguments, chaos, fighting. Like, that's what they're trying to show you. There's no more rose colored glasses. And I say this all the time, you can't put them back on. Once they're off, they're off. So that's what's actually going on in your life. You're interpreting it as you're a failure. The universe is saying, no, we're trying to help you. We're trying to show you the way, brother. Like, just truly sit into that realization and remember it if you can. Okay, let's just see. I'm going to see what in your karmic contract you're trying to break right now. Release the inner criticism. Yeah, no shit. Sorry, if you're just now coming into this, watch the whole thing. Because the right collective, this is like a quadruple confirmation. To release the inner critic. A soul has never grown from being a dickhead to itself. The self-hatred and the pity, like the whole thing. Watch the whole rating. I don't want to have to repeat the whole thing. Silence the inner critic. Speak to yourself with kindness and watch your confidence soar. What was your homework? For the bingo. It's like a quadruple. I don't even know how many confirmations that is. Perfect. You need to do that homework. Again, watch the whole thing. But understanding soulmate lessons. Soulmates come to teach us. Embrace the lesson they bring, even if they are hard to swallow. So you're sitting in your archetype, the teacher energy. So they're trying to even teach this to you, that energy, in a bunch of different ways, which is why it's hard to see. Bird's eye view. Literally see the lesson for what it is. Or choose to sit in what you've been sitting in. If you want to be a sourpuss, that's fine. But then don't expect change. And don't expect your thought pattern to change. And do expect for this cycle to repeat. Because if you haven't learned it by now, guess what's going to happen the next time you bring someone or something into your life that you dedicate all this effort to unnecessarily, and then you ignore your intuition that's screaming at you that it's not going to work, and then it fucking implodes. Because of course it's going to. It's not meant for you. And then how are you going to feel about it? You're already sitting in despair. How much worse can it get, babe? How much worse can it get? Don't we just want to try something different? And can I offer you a different way to do things? Right? Do you see what I'm saying? But prepare for change. It's already on the way. You're sitting in mythic time. You're sitting in divine timing. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. I don't do readings for people who don't have a soul's purpose, because that is what is most important to me, is to remind people that this life is not about, for certain people, just getting a job, work until you die, and increasing shareholder value. That is my mission, is to teach people and remind people that for certain, like for a large amount of us as there can possibly be, that is not the goal, to break the chains of capitalism. So if you've been drawn to listen to me, that's going to be a part of your mission too. And you need to understand all these things in order to get there. And on top of that, Source wouldn't be sending me your energy to do a reading unless it was really fucking important. So just try to remember that, because change is already on the way. They're not going to let you slip back into old patterns. Let's actually I'm like seeing that divine intervention card. You probably already have gone through so many and not even picked up the lesson that Source is trying to teach you, where it's like, and those are fucking rough. They're like 5 towers in one. Let's just see very quickly where you are in your contract. Oh, these cards are I need to get a new deck. These cards are getting old. Or used, I guess. What was that? Let's get one more. Oh. Okay. Phoenix. Perfect. You're literally going through a Phoenix period. It's a death and a rebirth. You are burning through parts of your karmic shadow that no longer serve you, that are just holding you down. That despair wound, the self-sabotage, and the imposter syndrome. That is what they're trying to burn out of you. And the only way they can do that is with emotional lessons. They can't knock on your door and say, here's a list of all the things you need to stop doing. And here's the list of things that you need to do. They're emotional lessons. They're triggers. They're things that come out of nowhere and make us feel like we're walking through that fire of experience one more time. Eve, quit kicking that. She's sitting underneath my desk, batting. She's a dog. She's batting at it. But anyways, they want you to rise from the ashes. They're not doing this to create this coal and this hardened place in your heart. It's literally a complete renewal. It's a gift. Don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Not when it comes from Source. Not a good idea. But either way, in your contract right now, The assertive, possessive inner demons that are literally got you by the throat. They're trying to show you that what goes around will always come back around. The repeated cyclical lessons. It's on a boomerang cycle right now. They're trying to show it to you. And instead, you're interpreting that as you're a failure. And it couldn't be further from the truth. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. That's all it is. Stop internalizing it. And I mean this in the nicest way, but you are not that important. You are not that important to where every single thing in your life that happens to you is a personal vindictive vendetta from the universe, source, creator, God, other people, like, do you understand how insane that would have to be? Like, you would have to, like, you're not the Messiah. You're just like, and even then, like, I mean this in the nicest way, but like, snap out of it. You are not so important that every single thing that is happening to you is happening to you because of who you are. Like, that's ridiculous. They're trying to show you that by circling that energy around you, and the unpredictability and the fierceness and the power struggles and the elusive, possessive, like all of that shit. They're trying to get you to be so intolerant to the way it feels that you walk away from it and find established energy. This is also about longevity of career and an established career. And they're in this deck, they're trying to show you that you're some sort of teacher. Doesn't mean you have to actually teach in a school. That means that you have information that people need and you're supposed to be broadcasting it in some way. That doesn't even need to be in words. You can send lessons and energy and information through art. It's literally what it is. It's an expression of an idea, a feeling, self, a time period, whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, you don't have to be a professor. Like, you get that. They're trying to set you up to be an experienced, established, mature, developed person with a solid career. And they're doing that again by removing all the other shit and giving you a phoenix period. But then you've got the birds at the end. And I don't know why that's there. There's always like one piece in a reading where I'm like, what is going on there? And that's like the soul genuinely trying to reach towards the future, or the shadow really trying to claw the self back. But it's like, it's just sticking out like a sore thumb, just like that protective. So maybe that's what it is. And I said I wasn't going to go into that whole thing because of why. Watch the whole reason, but watch the whole reading. They're clearly trying to burn all this bullshit out of you so that you can make contact that you've been very nervous about making. And again, I think it has to do with that protective situation. That is some sort of protective role that you have over some sort of other living thing, probably one of your kiddos, right? Which is really sad. That you would even hesitate. Like, what are you doing? I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but like, think about it outside the box. You probably would give people this advice if they were in your position. That's one more for that birds that communicate. Yeah. See, it's 3 birds, a lot of birds. So you need to be, I don't know if you like bird watching. Maybe you've just gotten into it, but seeing through the facade, being wise, aware, observant, secrets are being lifted, insights are being downloaded. You're going to know what's going on. Explore the unknown. Literally, the owl over this card of the anxious communication, they're like, see things from a higher perspective. Your anxiousness over whatever making contact this is, irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's not about you, is what I'm hearing. That's just what I heard. See through the facade of your own ego and just do what needs to be done. You are a king of wands, king of coins. Get it done. Get it done, brother. Like, just do it. One more for this phoenix. So the way that they're phoenixing this energy out of you is through your last relationship, because what are they burning to the ground? This passion, chemistry, romance, celebration, happiness. That is why, because it was never going to suit you. It's never going to suit you. And again, I'm not going to repeat the whole reading, but you need to start seeing these lessons outside the box, or be prepared to repeat the lesson. And it's going to just get more and more painful. And I don't want to see that for you. So let's see what moon cycle you're in. We'll get what's coming next. What moon cycle are you in right now? Oh, I don't see how that would be a good idea, but I'm asking objectively. Well, okay, so that makes sense if they're together, because a new romantic cycle is beginning, but what do you need to release? I personally, from what I've seen, I don't think you need to be focusing on romance. I think it's more that protective feeling that there's some sort of detachment over. That's just my advice. Take it or leave it. This feels like a fucking distraction. I'm going to be honest. This feels like a way to help yourself numb out from your reality. You tell me if that hit a sore spot. If it did, it's probably worth investigating. I want one more for that. A personal issue reaching a resolution. So that's the past. That new romantic cycle, it's done. It's over. Walk away from it. Learn your lessons. What do you need to release? These all three go together. Again, just confirming you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's not because you're a failure. Nothing is set in stone, but that's your fault. You need to set it in stone and walk away. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson, please. You don't want to be not learning the lesson this year. With everything in Aries, nobody's going to get away with it. And by the way, nobody's going to get away with it like when Saturn was in Pisces. Different animal this time. Different lens. Different energy. So we'll learn the lesson or we will walk through that fire. I don't think you have it in you to go through another one. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, boom. What comes next? Death energy, external change, a complete renewal, total overhaul. Oh, that's good. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be in reverse, but that's the second time I've done that in this reading. But the self-entrapment, the doom and gloom, the Eight of Swords, the drama queen behavior. Like in traditional tarot, it's a figure sitting in this like sort of circle of swords, but the swords are in the ground and they are doing this. They are sitting there with their, they're just like in this emotional torment and they're blindfolded, but like nothing is actually coming to get them. Nothing is there's no swords in the body, like with 10 of swords and 3 of swords, like there's no external force, like in, 5 of wands and 7 of swords. Like there's no external danger or pressure. It's their own mind that keeps them trapped. And you did get little Sherlock Holmes over here, Page of Swords, about being curious and thinking first and education. Maybe you go back, like maybe pursuing more education to become that teacher within is what you've been thinking about. Take this as a sign to do that. If you were looking for one. 2 more of what comes next. Oh, 7 of Wands. That's good. That's good. 7 and 7. A lot of repeating numbers too. Maybe that's one of your signs, but so you got Death, 8 of Swords, Page of Swords, 7 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Coins in reverse. I don't like how this ended in that because that's about a lack of effort and feeling bogged down and stagnant and aimless. Like this is your shadow. That's what keeps your hands tied, is you telling yourself that your hands are tied, that nothing is going to work, and there's all this effort that hasn't been put in. Like, what's your homework? One of the 3 pieces we gave you. Stop saying this shit to yourself. Stop. Stop thinking this pattern. You're not going to catch yourself every time, but you have to fucking try. You have to try, or don't. Just my advice. Again, these are your cards, not mine. So, like, literally, this is your ego. It's paralyzing you in fear. It doesn't have any use in the rest of this. Your higher self is literally trying to get you out of this. And source, death energy, this is external over your life energy. They're trying to give you a transformation, a renewal. They're trying to help you, but they can only help you if you walk towards it. It's like wanting to win the lottery and never buying a ticket. They are not going to shove this lesson down your throat. Do you get what I'm saying? Just trying to, I'm like, I genuinely care. That's why I'm like, just fuck it, get it done. Get it done. You have a thirst for knowledge. You are very, very smart. You know what the problem is. You need to lick your wounds, put your ego down, admit defeat, and move on. Live to fight another day. That's literally what this card says, but back down. Back down. It's a lost cause. Whatever is coming over you, it's a lost cause. That 7 of Coins worries me. Ugh. It's stagnancy. It's aimlessness. You cannot have a 6 of Coins upright with a 7 of Coins in reverse. The equal give and take, the harmonious exchange, the feeling balanced, and the equal care, the generosity, the acceptance, the quid pro quo is not going to happen, period, flat out. That's going to be triggering to hear. You need to hear it. It's not happening. That is what is stuck. It's going to stay stuck. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. I'm not wrong about this. You'll learn this lesson again. If you think I'm wrong about this, come back to me in 90 days. Tell me, was I wrong? Just saying. You clearly have so much more important things to concern yourself with than whatever is going on with you romantically. Whatever has been going on, whatever will go on. There's other shit, your soul's purpose, and whatever you are feeling protective over right now. You need to iron it out. Get it together. Lock in, brother. Lock in. Lock in. You are showing up in universe's perspective. Can't say it enough. King of coins. King of wands. Go on your own with this beautiful little detective Sherlock Holmes energy and go look up that figure in tarot. Read all the different descriptions. Understand the iconography. Go do it. And then understand that that is not your opinion of yourself and it needs to be. Gosh. God, that is such a red flag. That is such a red flag. Here's what we're going to do. I'm asking what comes next. Let's get 2 piles. Let's see what happens if you stay in whatever you're in and you try to make it work. And then we'll see what happens if you walk away. So if you stay in this energy, the 7 of coins in reverse with the 6 of coins, what's going to happen? It's going to be a balancing act. You're going to be walking a fucking tightrope with this. It's going to make you feel like there's a back and forth and you're juggling. 9 of wands again. You're going to be exactly where you are right now. It's not going to budge. Literally not going to budge. Tail between the legs. It's out of control. You're going to be defensive the entire time. You're going to keep trying new approaches. It's going to overwhelm you. And then you're going to keep getting that little intuition that it's not worth it. That's what happens if you stay. Now, if you walk away from whatever this is and take even just one little kernel of advice from this whole lesson and move towards change, what will happen? What's that? The Fool. Brand new story. You better. You'll get 7 of Cups upright. If you walk towards that, lacking focus, wishfulness, your energy will still be in the past, which tells me you're just going to stay. But you've got a cosmic trigger over this. So by the new moon, there's going to be a change in direction. So that's not bad. A new cycle, some sort of germination, and not giving up. So let's get one more. Queen of coins. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Means you're gonna try to force it. I'm sorry. I just can't. Oh, you're gonna force it either way. There's nothing objectively wrong with what you're doing. There's nothing morally wrong, but I can feel the pain. You choose. I'm asking what would happen. Source is saying it's not going to, because now you've got 9 of swords. So you've upgraded. They're saying by the new moon, the mental anguish and the dark thoughts and the lost hope, it's still here. Because you have a perfectionist mindset, you're manipulating your thought pattern, you're way too fucking ambitious when it comes to the things you think you can achieve in your present situation, when you should be applying your gifts and your beautiful mind and your energy elsewhere where you can actually succeed. Because right now it's a lose-lose, whether you agree with me or not. I can see it in the cards, but it's creating a huge work-home life imbalance, and you're self-focused. It's making you shallow. I just have to say it, because you haven't won, because you haven't gotten the trophy of whatever this is, the relationship, the home, the family, the friends. I don't give a shit. It's literally creating your self-fulfilling prophecy of all the things we've talked about. Now, do you want to stay in that? It looks like you're probably going to for a little while, and then the universe is going to come, rip you from that, and create a new cycle. Will it be the same cycle? I don't know. I genuinely don't. Let's see outcome here either way. I'm not irritated with you. It's just I see this all the time, and it drives me a little bit insane. I'm giving you the lessons. I'm giving you the key, and people don't want to take it, and that's fine. That's their journey. But 5 of Cups. Unwelcome change. Why is it unwelcomed, friend? Oh, I'm getting so fiery already. Literally resisting change. Let's see long term. I want to see by the end of the year. End of the year. Source for this collective. End of the year for this collective. That's not bad. I don't know how you're going to get there. something changes because you go from 5 of Cups to an Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, 9 of Cups, 2 of Wands. I don't know. I just split it on 10 of Cups. I don't know how that's possible. It must be totally out of your hands and unable. Like what is the transition here? What is the transition here from resisting change to all of that? Page of Coins. That's the study of magic and hard work and ambition. So you do work at it. King of Coins on the bottom. So maybe I'm giving you a hard time, but maybe you just needed to hear that to snap yourself out of it. Like so that your soul could feel what it might feel like to just keep sitting in this. There's always a reason I say and do anything. So I'm good. I'm glad. Maybe I laid into you a bit. I'm glad that you end up doing this for whatever reason. Because you will get this, but it requires actual groundwork. Being ambitious, working hard. He's the student. His special interests are the things that ground him in life. Long-term goals. I kind of also see him as the builder, like a project manager. The foreman of the world. One last one. I could swear that you would have some sort of outside trigger, but this is all internal. 10 of Wands. You finally readjust and reduce your burdens, getting your priorities straight, delegating responsibilities, and maybe because you don't even have any external force left. Like you've already gone through your tower. Good. I'm just relieved. I'm happy for you. Good. You genuinely probably have such a beautiful life waiting for you. You just have to walk towards it. Okay, let's just see what angel is watching over you. Oh, I feel relieved. Keeper of the Akashic Records. Meditate according to plan, divine order, sacred knowledge, and research. And you're in that energy, so this one's helping you. 17 could be an important number, but balance, peace, meditate according... Oh, I just read... There's a reason why I read it twice. I bring balance, order, and justice to those who ask and who desire to follow some sort of higher purpose in their life. Aquamarine, 2 weeks, get more information. Well, isn't the new moon in 2 weeks? That's crazy how that perfectly lined up. Synchronicities, and you are in synchronous time. It's part of your archetype, that Kairos card. So look for signs. Things that keep happening are connected, even if they don't seem to be. The recent pattern in your life, recent patterns in your life are signals from your angels. Today, ask for a follow-up sign and remember that angels speak with lots of repetition. That's true. And the longer you ignore your signs, the more insane they get. So look for 279 because that's the number on this card, or maybe the number 17. And just watch it truly roll in. Your signs are for you. They're never for anybody else or about anybody else. So don't ask for signs. Is someone thinking about me? Are we going to get back together? It doesn't work like that. And if you think your signs are telling you that, you are totally off the wrong path or on the wrong path. So just have to put that out there because people get so overwhelmed with signs and then nothing happens because the signs are not about external, right? Just saying. But draw a second card. It says later today to see what your angels have to say after you've spent some time paying more conscious attention. So let's just pretend you pause and don't watch this and then come back to it and just watch this very last part for a confirmation of the signs that you've been seeing. And don't cheat. Okay. Now it's later. You can watch the end. So this is later today for the right collective. Trusted universe. I really hope you waited, because if you cheated and you didn't wait, that wouldn't be magical at all. But if you waited, that would be so magical right now. 893. Yellow too, green and yellow. The universe has abundance of opportunities for you, but you have to step into the unknown to receive it. Your angels support you and remind you not to let fear hold you back from growth. Stand in front of a mirror, repeat to yourself, I can handle anything that comes my way with confidence. And didn't I say, sign? I said, stand in the mirror and repeat your affirmations if you have to. Do this until it feels natural. Perfect. 333, embrace equilibrium, embrace the divine balance. That's also to me a card of magic, or a sign of magic. 333, the divine order. It's a card of femininity. I'm a witch, so threes are important to me. Not because I believe in the threefold law, that's bullshit, but just 333. It always reminds me of the divine timing and divine order. But nurture the mind, body, and spirit connection. Get into meditative practice or embark on a new workout routine. Finally, start with that vision board you've been procrastinating on. Just get it done. Get it done. Get it done. You can do it. You can do it. And good luck.